How insightful is your calendar?
Let's find some time to talk about that. This is 27 Degrees, our angle on Google Workspace. All right, we're back with another episode of 27 Degrees, our angle on Google Workspace. We start every episode by breaking down one of the latest Google Workspace updates so that you can get the most value out of it, whether you're at work or at school. Rowan, what's our update for today's episode?
Well, Troy, the update that we want to break down in this episode is called Companion Mode. And it's designed by Google to make your meeting experience even better when using one of their two premium meeting hardware devices. And that would be either the Google Meet hardware or Nest Hub Max. And it allows you to use a second device to join the call to access in-call activities like voting, chat participation, and even host and moderation controls. So how do you use it? Well, when you're using one of those two devices, the Meet hardware or Nest Hub Max, use a second device like a laptop to join the call in companion mode via one of these two URLs, depending on if you're in the call already or not. And this device will act as a second participant in the call where you can use the interactivity features such as moderation controls and voting and Q&A.
As more companies and schools are preparing for hybrid meetings by investing in Google Meet hardware, this update really fosters something called collaboration equity and is a core pillar of Google Workspace. That means everyone in the meeting is going to have an enriched meeting experience no matter how they've joined, whether it's in person or remote. This is a great update. We can't wait to see how it develops for you. Our next segment is something we are thrilled to bring you brand new for season 2. We're going to take a look at each application within the Google Workspace suite to make sure that you understand how to get the most value out of each one of these tools. This segment is called Let's Google Workspace.
Calendar is a core Workspace app that removes much of the pain involved in booking meetings, and it syncs seamlessly across all of your devices. And it's also integrated into many of your favorite Workspace apps like Gmail and Drive. And bonus, it even provides useful insights with a tool to help you better understand your working patterns and make data-driven decisions to improve the way that you work. So Troy, let's dive into Calendar and have a look at how you can use this tool to your advantage. The real beauty of Google Calendar is that there are hundreds of different ways that you can optimize it towards the way that you like to work. But today we're going to focus on 3 areas in particular that I think are particularly helpful. And first, we're going to look at configuring your own calendar. Then after that, the different event types that you can create. And finally, an incredibly helpful tool that lets you look at insights into your own working patterns. So first, let's have a look at the settings for your own calendar, which can be found in the settings cog at the top right. The first area that I wanted to highlight is the time zone setting. And this is particularly helpful if you work with people in different time zones, or you yourself move between different time zones when you're working. And what it allows you to do is set a primary time zone and then also a secondary time zone. And these can be changed at any point. And I'll show you later on when we're creating an event how this is particularly helpful when scheduling with other people. If we scroll down a little on the page, then we'll find at the very bottom, working hours and location. And this is one of the new settings that Google has created to deal with the new challenges that hybrid work presents. And so this setting allows you to pick for every single day of the week a custom amount of time for your working hours and also your working location, helping you set expectations for other people both when you're working and where. So one of the key settings that you can set is to allow access permissions for your calendar so that other people can view it. And you can set different levels of permissions for different people. So the first 2 settings that you have are to share with everyone in your organization and everyone publicly as well. And actually I choose personally this option to share publicly with free busy access so that people can see my availability and it makes scheduling a meeting with me easy. A layer beyond that, you can then share with individual people. And again, you can choose the level of permission that you wish to give this person. If we scroll down a little bit more, then there are event notifications that I want to touch on as well. This setting is very handy as it adds for every single event that you create in this calendar, a set of notifications that are going to warn you of the event upcoming. Again, you can customize this completely to how you like to work best.
I think it's really important that folks take the time to set up their own calendar for the way that it works best for them. And if you've maybe taken a look at your settings when you started in your role or at your new company, take a look back and revisit some of these new settings that we've just shown you to make sure that you're going to continue to be set up for success. What's the next section that we're going to move on to for calendar?
So now, Troy, that we've looked at configuring your own calendar, I want to back out of the settings and actually have a look at some of the different types of events that you create. Because I think Google's done some great work in giving you some event types that are very helpful for setting up and scheduling your calendar. So let's have a look at some of the event types that you can create in calendar. So if we click anywhere within the calendar interface, we can create a new event and it will display the different event types that are available. So after the standard event type, there's a really interesting option called focus time, which is a way to indicate to your colleagues that you're taking some time to work on your own personal tasks and they should expect you to be less contactable during that time. And some of these events actually link with some of the other Google apps, helping further set expectations too, like in Google Chat. So this focus time also allows you to decline any new meetings, helping you retain that precious time to focus on your own work. Then we have, of course, out of office, which is indicating if you have a holiday. And again, there are options for setting automatic declining of meetings, which is very helpful. We also have tasks, which integrates with Google Tasks, of course, as a way to add a time-based element to the task that you're creating. And finally, we have appointment slots. And this is a way to set up a structure in Google Calendar so that other people can see the time that you have and book slots to meet with you. And this can be applicable in a number of different roles and a really handy feature to have within Google Calendar. So aside from these different event types, I also want to look at a couple of different tools that Google have created which make scheduling meetings with others really easy. And the first of those is called Find a Time. The Find a Time feature is designed by Google specifically to take as much weight off of you as possible when scheduling an event with others. And Google does this by allowing all of the calendars for the guests and rooms associated with the event to be overlaid easily and allows you to find a time that everyone is available. Now, I should also point out that the two different time zones, the primary and secondary time zone, that you configure in your own calendar settings also show in this Find a Time zone. So it's easy to compare between different time zones and see when people are available. And bonus tip, try using within Google Chat the Meet bot to try scheduling a meeting using the magic of Google AI.
Now, we know that taking a little bit of extra time to set up your calendar or adjust the type of event that you're scheduling may feel disruptive to your workflow right now, but we promise if you make this small adjustment and transform how you're using Google Calendar, you'll see lots of rewards from it every day. And it's like anything, you get out what you put in. And that's really important for the next thing that Rowan's going to talk about when we talk about the Time Insights report.
That's exactly right, Troy. So let's back out of this event and dive deep into this Time Insights report and how you can use it to get data from your working patterns and make better decisions in the way that you want to work. Time Insights can be accessed on the left-hand side, where it shows you a summary of 4 different event types that Google automatically classifies based on the data it sees in your Google Calendar. So those 4 different event types are focus time, meetings with one other person or multiple people, need to respond where you haven't yet RSVP'd, and then remaining, which is the amount of time that's left based on the working hours that you set, which we showed you earlier in the calendar settings. But we can get even more detailed data by clicking the More Insights button, which opens on the right-hand side 3 different sections, which gives you a detailed breakdown of the different information and activity in your Google Calendar. The first section is a time breakdown, which provides even more detailed information than the summary on the left-hand side. And the additional information that it adds is that you can see a breakdown of one-to-one meetings where there's only one other guest, and events where there's 3+ guests, which is very helpful for you to get insights into the different types of events that you're having with other people. Additionally, Google even provides suggestions based on the data that it sees in your own calendar. The Time and Meetings section is also very helpful, as it provides you a week-by-week breakdown of the amount of time that you've scheduled in events, and it also gives you a breakdown of recurring events versus one time, as well as the most meetings this week in the particular day, as well as the daily average of meetings.
Well, that's a wrap on another episode of 27 Degrees, folks. We hope you found some value in the content we shared for you today around companion mode and Google Calendar. If you liked what you saw, don't be afraid to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with all the latest content from 27 Degrees. And if you have any questions, throw them in the comments. we'll actually be doing a live Q&A event coming up in April 2022. So stay tuned for more information on that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of 27 Degrees.